Okay, so in Chapter 2, we're enhancing a presentation with pictures, shapes, and word art. In this work together, we are going to focus on publicizing a basketball camp held each summer for children living in the Park District, where professionals teach boys and girls a variety of offensive and defensive skills during this fun and educational event. Our slides are going to have a variety of illustrations and visual elements that are colorful and appealing to child athletes and their parents. So let's get started. Make sure you've got PowerPoint pulled up. And we are going to search our theme, basketball. Okay. We are going to choose the one that pops up. And if you click on it, then create, and I'll download this template for you. Okay, so this pops up. As you can see, the theme has 9 slides. We only need 4, so what we can do is we can go through and we can delete the slides we don't use. A little trick, we're going to select slides 3 through 7, and if you hold down the Shift key on your keyboard, you can select them all at the same time. So 3 through 7 we do not need. Then go ahead and right-click any of them, delete slide. Okay, now you should be down to 4. Okay, so let's go back up to our title slide, and we are going to name it Basketball, if I can type, Camp for Kids. And make sure you capitalize your main words. Our subtitle, it's going to be Gilbert Park District. Okay, and then let's go to slide 2. We're going to replace our words. Learn from pros and make acquaintances. And our caption, did I spell acquaintances wrong? So anytime red pops up, that means you spelled it wrong. You can right click it and it'll give you some options. And then our caption, classes meet weekday mornings throughout the summer. Okay, then let's go to our next slide. And our title will be You Will Learn ... Okay, so let's go ahead and insert some images. We'll start with our title slide. Insert, make sure you've downloaded the images you need. I'm going to find mine. And we are going to choose our backboard. Insert. Okay, let's drag the illustration to the right after we resize it a bit. Let's make it a little smaller. Okay, so drag it to the right. And I'm going to put it about right there. Okay, head to slide 2. As you can see, the theme included this photo. You want to change the photo because the players are wearing green, which are not the clothes our camp participates. Our participants will wear. So we're going to change our photo. To do that, oops, you right-click the image, and you can change picture. So we're going to change it. Here you'll have the option, you can download it from your file, you can search the internet. We are going to get it from our files, and we are going to choose where is it? This one, teamwork. And then it just automatically switches it for you. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to correct this picture. What I mean by that is a photo's color intensity can be modified by changing the brightness and the contrast. Brightness determines the overall lightness or darkness of the entire image, whereas the contrast is the difference between the darkest and lightest areas of the image. So if you go ahead and click your image, go to Format. Okay, so click your image, Format, Corrections, and here's where we can choose between the brightness and the contrast. We are going to choose negative 20% contrast plus 40%. So when you hover over, you can read it. Negative 20 contrast, 40%. Okay, there it is right there. Negative 20 plus 40. Let's go ahead and give it a picture style. So keep it selected, your picture style. We're going to choose bevel rectangle. There it is. And then let's give it a border. So picture border. We'll go down to weight. And we're going to pick 6 point, which is the biggest border you can pick. I gave it a white border. Let's go ahead and keep it black. So go back up to picture border, and we're going to choose black. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is apply a picture effect. This allows you to further customize your picture. So make sure it's still selected. Picture effects, the first one we're going to do, go down to glow, and then we're going to choose, I think this one's it, brown. Yeah, brown 18 glow accent color 3. We're going to do another effect. This time choose bevel. And we're going to choose the angle effect. There you go. Let's go ahead and move on to slide 3. On slide 3, we're going to add a shape. So, here's where you'll find your shapes. You're on your home tab under your drawing. We want to find oval. There's my oval. Go ahead and put your crosshair kind of in the center. And you click your mouse and you just draw it. Okay, I don't like how that looks, so I'm going to delete it. I'm going to try again. So click the oval again and just, let's try this. Just click once. There we go. I like that one better. Okay. Let's drag the upper left corner sizing handle, make it a little bit bigger. If you hold down the shift button while you do it, it keeps it proportionate for you. Okay, I'm going to move it to about right there. Okay, we're going to add some other shapes to our presentation. Ovals, squares, arrows, stars, and other shapes are among the items included in the shape gallery. These shapes can be combined to show relationships among the elements, and they can help illustrate the basic concepts presented in your slideshow. So with the Insert tab chosen, Shapes, and this time we are going to click the curved left arrow shape in the block arrows area. So, curved left. And then we're going to position our pointer to the right of the oval shape and then click to insert our arrow. Like that. And then you can hold down your shift key and drag a corner sizing handle until the arrow shape is about, let's see, let's make it a little bigger and move it to about there. We can always move it later. And then we're going to insert the shape, the regular pentagon shape next to our arrow. So again, insert shape and then find your pentagon. Let's see, right there. And go ahead and click. Let's hold our shift key and make it a little bigger. I'm going to move it to about right there. You can see your guide popping up. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to apply our shape styles. So display your home tab. Click on our oval, or I think it's a circle. Our book calls it an oval. And then you'll see quick styles up here. And we're going to point to light 1, outline, colored fill, black, dark 1. It should be the first shape in our third row. Now let's move on to our arrow. So click your arrow, quick styles, and we're going to choose this first one, colored outline, black, dark 1. And then let's click our pentagon. And this time we're going to choose subtle effect black dark 1. It should be the first one in the fourth row. Okay. Now that we've applied styles to our shapes, we can start adding text to them. Your goal is to emphasize key skills the campers will learn, and we're going to put that in our shapes. So with the pentagon selected, type offensive moves. And then click the oval or the circle and ball handling skills. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to change our font. So go ahead and select ball handling skills, and we're going to go to our fonts, and we are going to pick Century Schoolbook. Okay, and then we're going to format it. So we want to increase our size to 24, and then we're going to bold it. So let's increase to 24 and bold. And I want handling to all be on one row. So for me, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, wider. The next thing we are going to do is we're going to change our font color to orange. Saying it's brown. So I'm going to go to more colors, choose an orange. Am I colorblind? Okay, I'm going to choose bad orange. So we want to do the same formatting with the words in the pentagon. Instead of doing that all over again, you can use your format painter. This saves time. So with the oval text still selected, double click your format painter button. Okay, you find that right here. So I'm going to double click. And then I'm going to triple click the Pentagon text to apply the format to all characters. Sometimes this works great and sometimes it doesn't, so let's see what happens. See? So I'm going to have to redo it for the moves. There we go. Again, I want to increase my shape so that everything gets on the same line. And I don't like that. What I'm gonna do is decrease my font size. Let's see, to 18. Okay, so good basketball players have both offensive and defensive skills. We've already created our shape for offensive moves, so let's go ahead and create it for defensive moves. And instead of recreating it, we can just copy and paste our shape. Okay, so with the Pentagon shape selected, click the copy button. Copy. And then click the paste button to insert a duplicate Pentagon shape. Okay, and now we can just drag it over here. And then we're going to do the same thing with our arrows. Okay, so let's copy paste our arrows. And we want this arrow to go between our Pentagon shapes. So you're going to have to do some moving around here. I'm going to drag that arrow here. And then we want this arrow turned to point to the next Pentagon. And it may look different on your screen. Just move your shapes as needed. And then we're going to paste it one more time and put it back over to make a full circle. And you can rearrange as needed to make it look good. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is format our slide backgrounds. A slide background is an important part of the presentation because it can generate audience interest. Every slide can have the same background or different backgrounds. What we're going to do is we're going to fill it. There's 4 different fills available. You can do solid, gradient, picture, or pattern. So let's insert a texture fill. So we're going to do that on the second slide. So display slide 2, click, sorry. Okay, I was coughing. I had to drink some Coke. Okay, display slide 2, click your design tab. And then format background. Make sure that picture or texture fill is selected, and then we can go down here to texture and we can choose which one we want, and we are going to choose brown marble. And you can see that it changed our slide 2's background. Okay, so we can change our transparency slide. It's kind of dark, so we can slide that and make it lighter. So let's increase it. I'm going to use the arrows. I'm going to go to 15. And what that did was just change the transparency to make it not as dark. Okay, now we're going to insert a gradient fill on slide 3. So display slide 3, check your gradient fill. After you have your gradient fill selected, go down to Preset Gradients, and we are going to choose the bottom spotlight accent 3. On slide 4, we're going to insert a picture to create our background. So picture texture fill, and we're going to use a file that we've downloaded. I'm going to pull mine up. And we're going to choose our basketball boy. And we're going to make our transparency 30%. Mine's pretty slow. Okay. And then we can go ahead and exit out. The basketball camp is a very popular event among boys and girls in the community, and the sessions fill every year. Parents need to register their student early to reserve a place. You want to emphasize this concept, and the last slide in the presentation is an excellent location to urge your audience to take action. Why? Because audience members remember the first and last things they see and hear. So you can quickly add a visual element to the slide by inserting word art. Make sure your insert tab selected and then word art button is right there. We're going to click the fill red accent 2, outline accent 2, which should be third style in the first row. Okay, and then your text box should pop up. And what we are going to write is register today with an exclamation mark. Okay, you can do some different things with your word art. Let's go ahead and change the shape of it. So under text effects, go down to transform, and then we're going to choose chevron up. And that should be that one right there. Go ahead and drag your sizing handle toward the lower right corner until the crosshair shows, so we can make this a little bigger. Okay, I'm going to move it. I'm going to make it a little smaller. Move it over to the lower right side. So just like our background, we can fill our word art with texture. So go up to text fill, make sure your words are still selected. Text fill, texture, and I'm going to choose medium wood, should be bottom right. I'm going to change the weight of our outline. So text outline weight 6 points. And then I'm going to change the color of our outline to black because the red's kind of clashing. So text outline, choose black. And when you're done, just click outside of your text box. And that looks pretty good. The next thing we're going to learn to do is find and insert a synonym. So what this does is if you don't like a word that was used, you can find a different word to replace it. So let's go to slide 2. And then we are going to place our mouse on the word acquaintances. It's kind of a big word. Right-click it, synonym, and we are going to choose friends. Okay. The next thing you can do with slides is you can add notes. You may find material you want to state verbally, but you don't want to include it in your slide. So you can add comments at the bottom and print them off later as speaker notes. So I'm going to type some speaker notes, and I won't record myself doing it. I'll just show you, and then you can pause it and write it yourself. So go to slide 2. If your notes down below are not showing, you can click Notes, and it should pop up for you. Okay, there's slide 2 notes, so go ahead and type that. When you're done, we're going to type notes in slide 3. Go ahead and type slide 3 notes. And when you're done with that, we'll type slide 4 notes. Okay, there's slide 4 notes. When you're done with that, we're going to find and replace text. So while reviewing your slides, you realize that the camp will be held in the afternoon, not in the morning. So to change this word throughout a presentation, you could view each slide, look for the word morning, delete, then type the new word, or a more efficient and effective method is to use the find and replace feature. So let's see, up here you got find and you got replace. Make sure you choose replace. So we're going to find morning and replace it with afternoon. Replace all. Okay, it changed 3 of those. I'm going to exit that out. Another thing you need to do is check your spelling, because you don't want to be embarrassed when your audience is looking at your slides and you have a misspelled word. So Review tab, Spelling, Spell check complete, you're good to go. If you have a misspelled word, it'll pop up and let you change it. We're going to add a transition. I'm going to choose wipe, duration 2 seconds, and apply to all. And the last thing I'm going to show you is how to print your speaker notes. So you do File, and my computer is so slow, Print. Where is it? Right there. Under the full page slide, you can choose your note pages, and then you can print them off, and that way you have them to speak.